This is Charlie, the Pennsylvania grain farmer. Today is Thursday, September the 15th, and for once I'm not coming to you from the red shed. I am still in sunny western Pennsylvania, but I'm actually at the next door neighbor's farm. Now, I'm a little bit nervous right at the moment because I'm not only standing beside, but I'm also operating today a John Deere tractor. But it's a good thing that I'm certified in both Oliver's and John Deere's. And I'm just kidding about the John Deere's, but my neighbor called me this morning and wanted to know if I'd help him move these round bales. There's a field here that they had beautiful first cut hay on, and now the second cut hay was also ready, and it was almost as tall as these round bales, and they had never removed them when they after they baled that first cut. It's two brothers that do this, and the one brother has a day job, so the other brother asked me if I could come over today and help him get these round bales loaded and hauled off. And I guess it's about noon right now, and it's going to be a busy day because then my other buddy Corey that you've heard me talk about before, he called me, and he was given 30 acres of some really nice second cut hay that he's going to bale this afternoon, and he wanted me to help him. So I'm really going to be in round bale moving mode today. But there you can see my neighbor up there grabbing one of the bales. That's the Gale skid loader that I used whenever I was spreading lime a couple videos ago. That's the one that they let me borrow. And this is a little trickier than it seems. I know it doesn't always show up well on the camera, but there's a little bit more of a slope here than what it probably appears, so he has to really watch because it's pretty easy to slide and skid with that skid loader. Although right now he doesn't seem to be having too much of a problem, but you can see right in here about where he's backing up to that, yeah, it's a little greasy. In fact, I spoke too soon. Oh my, I hope he gets out of there. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to cut this one short for right now. We'll be back. Yeah, that was actually kind of coincidental that I had just mentioned about the wet spots in this field, and I said just like the one behind behind where the skid steer is now, and didn't my neighbor back right into it? And yeah, he's down in there. He's definitely stuck, so he's going back to get a chain, and we're going to pull this thing out. On a lot of these farms around here, you can tell why they laid it out the way they did, because this field, and there's one over where those far round bales are, this was pasture for almost all of my life, and it was just probably within the last 10 years that these guys had started to they built a freestall barn, so they didn't need the pasture anymore, so they turned it back into fields, and they've had corn and mostly hay down here, but these fields tend to get really wet, and it's not extremely wet around here right now, but this field still has wet spots in, and I know that's the same with my farm. The same kind of idea that the places that were wetter is it seems like where they built the barn and what they fenced off for pasture. So he's getting the chain, and once we get this thing pulled out of here, then we'll continue with the video, because I don't have anything really to be able to set this camera on. So we'll see you in a bit. All right, we got my neighbor pulled out. You can see the mud hole there in the middle of the screen, so he's going back to loading these bales up. And then this he could probably stack these 2 rows on this bale wagon, but it's, you know, the road's a little bit, you know, tilts back and forth a good bit on the way up to the barn. So I think he's just going to put 1 layer, or, you know, total of 8 bales on each wagon, and then after he gets the wagon loaded up, then we'll haul it up above their barn on the hillside where they're going to store these bales. And, you know, I'll show you what that looks like as we're doing it. He tries not to turn too sharply on these hay fields because, as most of you probably know, if you've operated a skid loader, they will tend to, you know, tear up the sod pretty bad, and they're real particular about stuff like that. Jump in the tractor because this should be the last bale on this load, and we'll take you up and unload. I was just thinking, man, after driving this John Deere, I'm going to have to take a shower as soon as I get home. Just kidding. Okay, we'll see you in a bit. All right, now we're over above my neighbor's barn where we're unloading these round bales. There's my neighbor there on the skid steer. He's coming over to get another. There's probably about 40 or 50 bales here we got to do today. When they called me today, this morning, I couldn't say no. These guys have been my neighbors all my life. My dad and their dad were neighbors, and now, you know, both our dads are passed away, and it's us that's doing it. They're next door neighbor to me, and they're more like family than they are friends and neighbors. So whenever they need a hand, I always help them out. They're still dairy farming, you know, in addition to raising a couple hundred acres of crops, so they're pretty busy. You can see it's a little bit greasy over there on this hillside where he's taking those bales up, but all right, I think you get the idea of what's going on here. Down below you can see the silo bunkers. There's 2 of them there side to side. One holds haylage and one holds corn silage, and that's always a kind of a tradition that every spring, you know, I help them fill up and cover that hay silage bunker, and that's a big job pulling that plastic over, and especially getting all those tires on. And then in the fall, you know, we do the same thing with the corn bunker. So in any event, I think you get the idea here of what's going on with this. All right, it's later the same day, and now we're at job number 2. My friend that I've talked about a number of times, Corey, was given, believe that or not, given 30 acres of really nice hay, and so he's making silage bales out of it. He's just putting net wrap on now, and then he'll wrap them with plastic a little later. But so we're now at a location probably about 12 miles from my house. We finished up the other job at my next door neighbors, and now we're here to see what's what's happening, what we're going to do. Probably end up hauling some bales, but that's my friend Corey and his little John Deere tractor, and that's a brand new John Deere 450 round baler, brand new this year. And he thought there was going to be 150 bales here. Now he's thinking that it could be more like 300. There is a shit ton of hay. And I had to run down to the local John Deere dealer and get another roll of net wrap. I don't use any net wrap because I have a round baler, but I'm currently not making round bales. I didn't realize how much a net wrap was. It was like $360 for a roll. It's just crazy. So I picked that up for him, and he requested some refreshments, and I picked that up too. And here we are, just waiting for the rest of the plan to be formulated. And there's my buddy Dan, the guy that built my barn bridge. He's hiding behind the other round bale there. You can see he has an adult beverage, so. All right, we'll be back. Okay, it's a couple hours since I did the last part of this video. My buddy Corey here, sometimes he's good on getting things to do, but not so good with the planning aspect. But I went down, drove back down to his place, which is only 2 miles from mine, with his truck, and brought the gooseneck trailer back. And then my other buddy Dan and I, that you saw earlier, took his truck down over there and got a bale spear for that skid loader over there. And we got back, and now it looks like they've been loading. They got our buddy Ben's truck pretty much loaded up. And then we'll be loading this truck up next, and this is the one that I'm supposed to haul with. So there's actually 5 of us here now, and looks like they're finally starting to get something done. Okay, so that's where it is. I mean, it's about 7:30 at night. It's going to be dark soon, and the hauling process has just started, and looks like there's going to be maybe about 300 bales. So I kind of have a feeling this is going to spill into tomorrow. And there's our friend Frank. He has his tractor on the baler now, so that we could use Corey's. Corey could use his bale spear on his John Deere there that you see to get the truck loaded up. And there's our buddy Ben. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you did, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. And for now, this is Charlie, the Pennsylvania grain farmer, saying see you next time.